Are bread boxes a waste of money?
Yes. Don't ever get one.
What in the world is a bread box?
I don't even know what they are either.
They're all right. I'll
Google it.
So half of these are
Hold on, I got this.
Matt's arguments with his girl.
Show me a bread
But like
box.
this is a good one.
Welcome to this week's pod, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay.
Hooray.
Yay.
Hooray.
I'm hyped. Last week's was such a banger. I think it's going to be really hard to follow up.
Mm-hmm. We can work off that momentum, though.
I think this one is gonna be a banger. Not even
I'm
gonna
pretty
front.
I like the
looking
lineup.
forward to this one. Yeah.
Not even going to front is low-key my new saying.
Not even gonna front.
I just steal everything Matt says because it's so funny.
You have a new saying like every week.
can I
First
say?
it was all sauce, no bottle. Am I correct on that? Was that
That's
what it was?
a variation.
Goated with the sauce, no
Goated
bottle.
with the sauce, no
Goated with
bottle.
the sauce,
Yeah.
no
Then you had another one. I forgot what it was.
I actually, when I, over the summer with, camps, I would also pick up, a new saying. It was bad. But here we are. This is episode what? Episode 6.
Episode 6
Of season 2.
Wow. We've been places,
We have been places.
We have.
but we're here now.
It's already late October.
That's wild.
Amen.
That is
Nuts.
crazy.
Amen.
Okay. How do we even start this?
How do you introduce this? That's
So,
what I'm wondering.
Thomas.
The Wooten Warrior.
The Wooten
Yeah,
Warrior. Grant, who has the best experience?
I
The
have,
most
Grant.
experience.
I think I
Probably
probably do.
Grant.
Grant, introduce the entity.
Thomas was probably the most legendary person from Chapman third floor last year, just because of who he was, I guess. I mean, I don't know. You guys know him. How would you describe him?
He's a character.
He was a person in Chapman.
I would say out there.
He was out there.
But I
He had
He had a good heart.
all the confidence
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah. No.
And
yeah,
I
definitely.
aspire for
Mhm.
that confidence.
Yeah. Social anxiety fears him. No.
Yes.
Social anxiety fears
Most
Thomas
definitely.
Wooten.
Which I can
Correct.
respect.
He's the kind of guy that'll walk into your room while you're changing and not even blink an eye.
But yeah, because he
Respect.
did.
Yeah. Bro. Oh man.
I told you guys that story. How I was
Yeah.
Yeah.
that Saturday morning, man. What the heck?
We'll tell the viewers. They probably don't know.
I might have told it on the pod before, but in case I didn't, there was one Saturday morning I was kind of getting ready and such, and Thomas wanted to join, and no, he didn't knock because why would he? And so I was getting dressed and everything, and it wasn't unacceptable for him to be in there at the point I was at, but it was still really weird. I'm like, dude, can you please knock?
That's fair. Thomas, we love you so much.
We really do.
We do. We miss you. It's all just
We do.
funny reminiscing of Chapman. Yeah, I promise.
He
Shout out your movie night.
oh
Oh,
man,
man.
your movie.
Yeah.
night.
Chapman Thomas tried to do a Chapman movie night on third floor, and I get back from I don't know what I was doing, and all of the light bulbs are taken out of the lights,
Yeah.
and we're like, how did you do this? You can't. Or he was trying to turn off the lights in the hallway, and you can't turn them off. So he climbed up to
He
every.
took the light bulbs
Yeah,
out of
he
twisted
stop.
What are they called? The fluorescent
He had to turn
long
the tube.
tubes?
He had to
Yeah.
turn the tube.
Yeah.
I
and then-
didn't know this.
Yeah.
I kind of respect it almost.
Wasn't Stu saying when we had him on, he had to change them all back himself because Grant wasn't there
Yep.
that
Oh my
weekend?
Well,
Yeah.
I remember this weekend because I was up and so I'm going to the bathroom to get ready for bed, and I go outside and this dude's literally throwing a fit because he can't get some of these lights to turn back on,
Yeah.
and he's trying to get anybody he can to help. And at that same time, there were some people from fourth floor down there trying to find, I think it was Austin's speaker, because he borrowed it and then lost it. It was just a whole mess. He was trying to clean up and.
How did I not know about this? You probably have told me before, but I guess I just didn't
Yeah.
sink that in my mind, the fact that he took the light bulbs out.
Yep.
Kind of respect it, though. He's that determined.
That-
Crazy.
there's so many light bulbs in that hallway. Too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long
Crazy
hall.
idea,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I respect the determination.
I think my favorite time was when somebody had brought a shopping cart back and it had been up on third floor. And so there was one night, I want to say it was a Sunday night. Yeah, it was a Sunday night. And we were all outside. We were playing football in the hallway. We were pushing each other around in the shopping cart. And then somehow the shopping cart ended up at his end of the hallway. And me and a couple other people put the shopping cart up in his bed, which ensued just the wildest game of him chasing us around the around Chapman, literally all the floors. And So then we ended up, I think it was Chris and Mason's room. We were in there and we locked the door because we didn't want Thomas coming in. This dude goes and grabs a screwdriver set and some scissors and tries to take the doorknob off so he can come in.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it was so wild. And then he was pretending he had public safety on the phone, and like he was literally making voices outside as if public safety was standing right there.
I literally have public safety on the phone right now.
And so I think it was like me, Brandon, Chris, Mason, and I think one other person was in there too. We were like legitimately scared because it also sounded like he had a knife out there. Dude, it was so nuts.
God love you, Thomas.
Shout out Quick Trip also.
Are we gonna talk about his whatever you call it, the Chapman Worship Night?
Oh my goodness.
That whatever you want to call it.
Oh,
I wasn't there for that. I've heard the story multiple times, but
I honestly don't even remember it.
It
Super
was-
well.
I do.
So
he kind of just like unexpectedly gave a sermon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, bro was
so-
not planning to. Yeah, go for it.
Sorry. Every Wednesday night, we had like a Chapman worship night in Kelly Prayer Chapel, and me and some buddies were like running it. Like we ran that like ministry, and I was leading one of the songs, and he comes up to me while I'm like playing the guitar. I think it was while I was playing.
I thought you were playing the cajon, right?
I don't know what I was playing for that, but he comes up to me and I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "Can I share something?" And I'm like, I'm typically like pretty open to that. I was like, if the Lord has something on your heart, yeah, go ahead. And like Owen said, bro just brought a whole sermon,
Mhm.
but it wasn't bad, but it was also like,
It was him rambling.
yeah, you spoke for 15 minutes, like we didn't need your life story.
yeah, I
That
thought it
was
was just like, hey, I'm moving and not coming back.
He had a good heart.
But
He had a good heart.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all that matters.
We love you, Thomas.
I
We
hope
need to
you're
move on.
doing well.
Yes.
Seriously, on a serious note.
If
Hope
you're
doing good.
if you're coming to the Burb, let us know.
for real.
please do not let me know.
Naming your vehicle.
Nope.
Stupid or nah? If it doesn't have a name, what would you name it?
Okay.
Yes.
Go down the line. Stupid or not?
Oh,
If you had a name. go.
I think it depends. Depends on the car. If you have a normal car, then no. If you have like a really distinct car, I mean, example, Grant's truck. It's a very bright red truck. Like, it's got a feature to it. It's blood red, and it's not like my car is. I like my car, but it's a black
It's
Honda.
very
like,
average,
yeah,
you know?
it's
Yeah.
just a car. You know, you got an SUV or not SUV, like a huge minivan, and you want to name your minivan like Felicia.
I think I'm all for it.
Like, I'm all for it. What would I name my car though?
Like a
Joe.
Joe?
That's actually, yeah, that's good.
Joe.
Well, my personal take, I don't mind names for cars, but if you make it like a whole personality or a whole other person or something like that, like please stop. It's not that deep. It's not that important. But if I had to name my truck, I don't have a name for it. If I had to, maybe something like Cliff, short for Clifford.
The big,
Okay,
big
that's
red
not
dog.
bad,
I
Cliff.
like it.
See, like,
I-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I like it. You know, because your truck's
You put
bright
thought
red.
into it, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's red.
Not because I totally haven't thought about that before.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, I think I'd want to keep thinking because if it's gonna have a name, I want it to have some sort of meaning behind it. You know, like there's got to be a funny story or something like that behind it for it to have a name. You know, like you can't just look at it and say like, oh, that's Cliff.
You should
Like,
name your truck Thomas.
Oh boy, after the Woot Warrior.
Yeah.
Elliot, what would you name? What is your opinion of what would you name your car?
I think it is cool for certain cars.
Yes.
mhm.
I have a buddy who has like a really old, like Volkswagen Bug. I can't
Mm.
remember the name of his car, but it's like cool. Like that name just fits the car. I don't have a name for my car.
Blueberry.
Yeah, Blueberry. I drive a blue Chevy Cruze, so it's like everybody and their mom has one. Let's go Kevin.
I kind of like that.
Kevin.
Matt,
Yeah.
I have a name for your car, but I want to hear what yours is.
All right, yeah, I'll let you get to that.
No.
But first off, I think it's stupid
Oh.
to name a car.
Oh my.
I think it is ridiculous. I have
Bro.
strong feelings about it.
Bro, it's
Okay.
feelings.
But if it's like, if you are gonna name it, I think it should rhyme with like either the make or the model. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like have alliteration. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna name my car like Sicilian the Civic or something.
Mm.
You know, and you know, because if you just name it like something stupid that doesn't rhyme or
Harry the Honda.
Harry the Honda. Like if it's something stupid that doesn't rhyme or have alliteration. Like Angie's car, she drives a Ford EcoSport. She named it Benny. Benny the Ford EcoSport. Like, name it
Benny? Yeah,
Fitzgerald
okay,
the
that
Ford
was-
EcoSport or
That rolls
something.
off the tongue.
Shout out Benny Troxel from Houston, Texas. Sorry.
True.
Benny.
Yeah, shout out Benny Troxel from Houston, Texas.
Oh my.
But no, it's just, it was like, that's why I wrote this note down, because I was like, that is stupid. At least name it, like, Finkelheimer the Ford or something.
Okay, if you had
Like,
to name your car.
If I had to name it, see, that's the thing.
No, you have to.
It's stupid.
Can I name this
But-
car? Matt,
Go for it.
what year is your car?
2009.
Yeah, that's fairly old. So I'm gonna name your car Barbara.
See, but like Barbara the Civic, that's
But
stupid.
that Barbara's like an old lady name.
But okay, but like, listen, if you're gonna go in that vein, it's old and it's like a basic white girl car. What's like a basic white girl name? Like Cindy. like
No, dude.
Chloe or like Cindy the Civic or something.
Cindy?
Like,
Okay, I'll give you Cindy.
yeah,
That's not bad.
'Cause
I like
Chloe.
Barbara.
it's at least like fun,
Bro,
Cindy
I
the
love
Civic.
Chloe.
Although it doesn't
Just
have a
the
name
name
and it
Chloe.
never will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
That was a good segment. We'll do
what's the
those
name of
shorts.
your car? Put it in the comments.
Real.
Okay, moving on. Bus ride / field trip stories.
Oh
This is a suggestion
my.
from Jackson Dines. I don't know
Yes.
Jackson Dines personally.
It's my friend from back home.
Shout out Matt's friend.
I
from
know
back
I got
home.
one somewhere.
Okay, so can I start?
Please.
So 8th grade. I go on and on about this story, but I'll say the abbreviated version. So 8th grade. I think this was like fall. We were going. Do you guys know what Bernie's Book Bank is?
No.
So it's essentially people donate their books, and it's like a Goodwill for books essentially. So we went to a field trip there, and essentially like they slaved us away. Essentially,
That's
I
awesome.
don't really know why we did it, but we
that.
kind of just worked for them. I don't.
Volunteer.
Now that I'm
Voluntold.
looking back,
Yeah.
it kind of sucked, but we got kicked out because our class was terrible, and people were like throwing books at each other,
Nice,
and
nice.
Bernie's Book Bank essentially said thank you, now please leave, and we got kicked out so early the bus wasn't there yet, so we sat on like the curb while the teachers scolded our entire class. It was kind of funny looking back, but at the same time, yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, that's
Grant.
There was one time. It's not really funny, but it's like kind of crazy. I don't know. There was one time this kid, I don't remember what exactly was happening. It might have been a seizure or some sort of medical episode. But
I said it's not really funny. Sorry.
anyway, so
That is wild.
So anyway, as that's going down, we're like trying to get the bus driver's attention, and this dude smoked so much that number one, the bus reeked, and number two, he could not call dispatch to tell them to call an ambulance because they couldn't understand him. And so, like, one of us had to then call the police and tell them, like, hey, get an ambulance out here, something's going on. And then by that time, we figured we had everything worked out, and so the bus was at like the entrance of our neighborhood, but it would be at least like an hour and a half before we got home. So me and my sister then just walked home.
Real.
But yeah, and then with that same bus driver, oh yeah, he was like 5 minutes early one morning, and me and my sister weren't at the bus stop, but we were like walking to it, and so like, bus driver had to have seen us. Anyway, he starts pulling away. We're running down the street, yelling, like flailing our arms. People on the bus. Like, so we found out later, we're literally telling the bus driver to stop and let us on the bus. And this dude was just oblivious. Like, I don't know if he was deaf or what, but he didn't hear it, and he left the neighborhood, and then my dad ended up having to drive us to school that day.
Oh boy.
yeah, it happens.
I don't really have any like growing up bus stories, but traveling with ministry teams, we're always on the short bus. I
Did you
got
know that they make ones longer than that?
I knew that, Grant. You didn't actually. Just like
You're so proud of that, aren't you?
random ways to sleep on the bus. Like, I sleep really well on the floor of the bus for some reason.
Is that legal?
No.
What about in the cargo hold up top?
I don't know that anyone has slept up there, but someone has laid up there.
Cool.
A past narrow member definitely has. There's a picture of it floating around. What else?
Who drives that bus? Who driving this bus?
So this
But-
year it's Jackie.
Okay.
Wesley drove it for a little bit over the summer.
Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, that-
But
That's
yeah.
not
No
his
offense,
seat.
Wes, but oh boy.
Last year it was Matt Bear. He's a great
Okay.
bus driver. Jackie's a great bus driver too. But last year, every time there was like a hill or like train tracks, we'd speed up and we would jump. And we like you would like almost hit your head on the ceiling of the bus because like you'd float up.
Dang.
Nice.
It's pretty fun.
So
That
wait,
is fun.
do they not need any endorsement on their license to drive those?
They don't. So for the short buses, you don't need an endorsement. You just need a like.
Like a chauffeur's license?
No, you don't. You just need approval from the school.
Huh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, like you just have to. What is it called? Like they do like 2 like driving sessions. Just
Oh.
like
Make
drive
sure
the
you're
bus
not
around the
slow.
parking lot.
Well, because you guys have a trailer too, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Pulling it with the trailer is kind of a pain in the butt.
Oh, I'm sure.
But yeah, you have to be either 21 or a junior to drive the bus, which I'm neither, so I sleep.
Valid. This is more of a field trip story, not really a bus ride one, but
Love it.
Have any of you heard of Hardy's Reindeer Ranch?
No.
No.
Okay. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a reindeer ranch. They have like a corn maze, obviously reindeer, some things like that. And so I don't remember the full story or what the kid's name was. It was Max something. Shout out Max something if you're listening. But he they were giving out silly string, and he started spraying the reindeers with silly string.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
That's wild.
Then this teacher, when we got back we had an emergency assembly, which was just, hey, you guys suck on the field trip. Let us yell at you. Which, it was kind of warranted, to be honest. But it was actually my now favorite teacher, and the reason why I want to be a teacher. Shout out Miss Dar. Much love. She's kind of the one that's can yell the loudest. So no mic, this lady is screaming at the top of her lungs, at all of us, and the gym is just dead silent. And then
We've all been there before.
Somebody, I think it was actually it might have been Mac. It was somebody sitting near him. I don't remember, but they just let out the loudest fart. She stopped for a second, and he just ripped one, and then everyone started busting out laughing, and that just made her even more mad.
What grade were you guys in?
He was in 8th grade. I was in 7th grade.
Okay.
But yeah,
That's funny.
That's
it was
really fun.
that was a good one.
That's a
for
good
sure.
story.
Dude, we had an overnight field trip in 3rd grade to the Indianapolis Zoo, and we spent the night in the dolphin aquarium.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
it's sick. You got to go to the zoo after hours and before they opened.
That's cool.
It was kind of you had the whole place to
What?
yourself. It was
That's
pretty
super
sick.
cool.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
we had bogus field trips. We had one cool field trip where we went to Chicago, our 8th grade field trip before we graduated. We spent the day in Chicago. But
That's
besides that, we kind of got hosed with our field trips. Either our class was terrible and we didn't do them, because the class I grew up in, or our grade, it was just notoriously awful. We had a lot of twerps in our grade.
Mine
Ugh.
too.
I'm gonna
I
set my lip on that.
remember my 3rd grade field trip was to the grocery store.
No way.
Yes.
What? What'd you guys learn about the different
For
freaking
what?
food items?
It was because Mariano's was new, and they're like, "You guys need to check this place out." And so we went there. And then during the field trip, I saw my grandparents shopping there.
That's
so I went
kind of
south.
funny.
Take me home.
Literally, dude.
That's funny.
That was a good segment.
Mm-hmm.
What's next?
Um,
Ooh, is this the Family Guy one?
Grant, was this you or was this Owen?
That was me.
That was Owen.
Okay, Owen, what you got?
So, essentially, there's an episode of Family Guy where Peter, Quagmire, Cleveland, and Joe all
Yeah.
start their own podcast, and they do it in the bar, the Clam,
Mhm.
and they just have the most bogus setup ever. And essentially, one of the first segments they have is how many 4th graders can you take in a fight at once? Specifically, how many? So
Okay.
I was inspired to bring this to the Perchance podcast. So we're going to start with Matt. We're going to put him on the spot because he's already at the other end.
Yeah.
Matt, how many 4th graders can you take in a fight at once?
Specifically. See, I don't know because
If anyone else has a...
I don't know what they're putting in the water and in the food these days, but 4th graders are so much bigger than when I was in 4th grade.
That is true.
You know what I mean? And it's I'm not exactly a big guy. I just grew to 5'7" this year.
Come on.
Come on, somebody. But still, and then I'm stocky, I guess, but I don't know. I think I would still be able to just have push a little kid's forehead away like that, have him run at me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say at least 3 at
Oh,
once. I think, right? Because 2 you can just push like this, and you can just kick the 3rd one,
I
and then
would-
you can just You know?
Yeah, I mean, you could like kicking too. Like anything counts, really. Well,
Yeah.
as long as it's
Well, I guess
you're
in that
using
vein-
your fists and not any weapons.
I-
I
yeah.
probably should have been more
Yeah.
careful.
I guess in that vein, I'm gonna say 4 because I'm gonna have 2
Wow.
legs. I can
Yeah.
just kick one and then kick the other while I'm doing this.
See,
I
I
was
was
thinking way more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking at least like 6.
I was thinking
Mm.
more than that.
Really?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but like you're a bigger guy than I am. Though.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
So-
I also like. I love my middle school boys at youth group, but I feel like I could take on quite a few of them. But also, like, a 4th grader, I think I could take, like, 15 or 20 4th graders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of depends if they're all coming at you at once.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
like that's what I imagine, like all coming
Okay,
at you
that's
at
fair.
once. 'Cause, like,
When I
have-
say
feel
at
like I'm
once, that's
circled, and I'm
yeah.
in the middle, that's, yeah.
yeah.
When I say at once, I'm saying like at the same time, like you're fighting. I mean, if you knock one off, like they can go to the side, but they can get back up essentially.
Yeah, because like in a row, I could probably just.
Well, yeah,
go
I mean, you
there.
could take on a bunch.
Yeah.
Keep them coming!
Yeah. Yeah.
Grant, what do you think?
Well, here's what I'm wondering: are these are all these 4th graders built exactly the same, or
No.
is this like a 4th grade class? You know, where
I-
you might have little Pudgy
I-
Sam and then big ol' Randy
Ow.
who's juicing already. Like,
I think let's go with the class because not everything's like Big Randy.
okay,
You
okay.
know?
So I could easily take on 3 Randys and probably like 4 or 5 Sams.
Sam. What about Thomas's?
Oh,
my
Thomas's?
Maybe
4th
one.
grade Thomas.
Maybe one.
3.5.
3 and what is the half one?
It's open to interpretation.
Just the legs or the top or the top? half?
Well, that's after I like uppercut him. And,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh.
No.
Ooh, that reminds me, we should talk about Punch Out.
No, but
No,
no.
we should not talk about
Honestly,
Punch-Out.
though,
No.
like over under maybe like 12.5.
Okay, that's fair.
Half is for betting reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
are we? Wait, hold on. Are we?
We are not sponsored by Underdog Fantasy.
Is that?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Did we pretty much cover everything?
We should
today?
actually have an over under for all of us and like have them vote. Like
I'm down.
Like, do they think we could get
let's
more?
let's.
or less?
How much time? What's our time at right
We're
now?
good.
We
We're
started,
good.
yeah, like 20 minutes ago or something.
Okay. So Matt, why don't you do the betting lines?
See, okay, so my over under for me personally, you know, I'm gonna say at once. We're talking about all at once.
we're talking about.
I'm gonna say 4.5 for me.
That's solid.
Okay.
Elliot, you're a bigger guy, bigger than I am. Been in the gym. I'm gonna say like
74.
yeah, no, 9.5.
Okay, I appreciate
Grant, you're a tall guy as well. Also been in the gym.
it. Real.
Let me just look at you. I'm gonna say
Stare into his soul.
10.5.
Wow.
Because actually 9.5. Because I feel like a kid, you're so tall, could just like wrap around your legs and just get you on the
Ooh.
ground. You know
But
what I
I'm,
mean?
I'm a stable
Garbage
guy. Exactly.
Climb you like a tree.
That's true. You do have balance, experience.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 10.5
Okay,
actually.
that's good.
Oh, and you're a very tall guy,
Thanks.
so
Is that
I'm
all
gonna
you got for
say-
me?
Oh,
Well,
and you're
no.
so tall.
I'm gonna say, because like you could really keep them far away if you did that. Like, so
Stay away.
I
Step
feel
on.
like as long as your arms are holding up, you could just like take as many as you want. You know
I'm
what I mean?
honored,
So
honestly.
I'm gonna say like, and you're the tallest, but they could trip
Am I the
you.
tallest out of us?
I think so.
You and Grant. I don't know.
I don't know. Am I really the tallest out of us?
Stand up.
Shark slides on or off?
You have shoes on? Keep your shoes on.
I don't know if they can see us, but
Definitely taller.
should we like do
Yeah,
back
Grant's
to back?
taller.
Oh, Grant's
Well, that's what I
taller.
thought. Grant was
Yeah.
a tall.
Okay, so then I'll do yours one under whatever Grant was.
Well, I'm
I don't
honored.
even remember.
You're a lot more generous than I am.
Well, guys, if you know any 4th graders,
Yeah.
no. But basically, that whole segment stemmed from the podcast with Family Guy, and so that begs the question: if we were Family Guy characters, like who would each of us be? You know, like who's Peter, who's Joe, who's Quagmire, and who's the 4th one?
Cleveland?
Yeah.
The
Well,
black
I don't
one?
think any of us can be Cleveland.
I love how we're going
No, but,
off
like-
the agenda, though. I love it.
Yeah.
But like, okay, just think about like personality and such.
I honestly don't know the characters well enough, so I need somebody to place me with the character.
Okay, so here's the problem. Whoever is Quagmire Quagmire is like the perv of the show.
Yeah.
So like,
Let's ignore that
someone's
Quagmire.
gonna. Can we swap Quagmire with like Mort or something?
Okay, but I
like
honestly
that?
love Quagmire's humor too.
Quagmire's got goofy
He is
humor.
funny.
Yeah.
But like he's way too much.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Would any of them even like
Also-
fit us?
None of us are like crippled though, like Joe. but I mean, my voice cracks like
I'll
Joe
take Joe.
sometimes.
Elliot, don't you have something
So-
with your leg? Like, I thought you had like a dent in your
I do have a
leg.
dent in my
Yeah.
leg. Right there.
Oh,
Alright.
yeah, you're Joe.
Okay,
Yep, you're
Elliot's
Joe.
Joe then.
I'll take it.
Honestly, I feel like with my humor, at times I could be Peter.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah,
Like-
I could definitely see that.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even humor.
And you're
it's
the
just,
unk.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so can we just go off of like the main four, just any Family Guy character?
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
want to.
Ready, go.
I don't know. I was just saying that in general.
You, what's his name? Brian. No, not Brian.
Brian.
No, not Doug. No, Chris. You could be Chris.
Why? I don't want to
that's-
be.
that's
That's
kind of an
kind of
insult.
disrespectful.
Mm.
Chris is like a
No, I
fat like. I can't say what I'm going to say. On the
I'll just have
pod.
you guys give me a character. You guys have watched more of the show.
Matt, you're like. What is Matt?
You're Mayor West.
He's stupid, bro.
He's stupid.
Mayor West.
Yo, can I be the
You could be
doctor?
the news anchor, dude. You could
Tom
be the-
Tucker?
Yeah.
that's good.
Good evening. I'm Tom Tucker.
That's actually good.
Yeah, okay.
That's
well, that
good.
makes sense. I'm the podcast guy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good.
I did.
We just
that.
need
This is
something
gonna
for
be
Matt.
Trisha Takanawa.
This is Trisha Takanawa.
Okay, Owen's Trisha Takanawa.
No, I don't want to be Trisha Takanawa. I want to be Tom Tucker.
Okay, we're gonna speed run this last one. That was fun.
Yes.
This is crazy. Are bread boxes a waste of money?
Yes. Don't ever get one.
Okay.
What
Ever.
in the world is a bread
I don't
They're-
even know what they are either.
They're all right. I'll
Google it.
So half of these are
Hold on, I got
like
this.
Matt's arguments with his girlfriend.
Show me a bread
But like
box.
this is a good one.
So apparently, what
Look at
I've
this.
learned after googling this,
$160
Oh
for
my
that, Jonathan?
gosh.
essentially bread boxes are something that
They okay, literally they just hide your bread. Who freaking cares? Just put it on the
If that
counter.
thing's $160, does that like feed the 5,000 too? Like
It's
Jesus
yeah,
did or
better.
what?
And half of them don't even like hide the bread. Like this one's glass for $32. You're
Oh,
telling
so
me
you
you're
can
gonna
still
spend
see it. You just
$32
clickbait
on
people
that.
like,
What's
oh,
wrong-
reaching the $1,000
Yeah.
box.
what's
And then-
wrong with the bag?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's like if you don't want to see it on the counter, put it in the cabinet.
Yeah.
Real.
I don't. Do we all agree on that?
Yeah,
I think
I think
so.
it's
Thank
pretty
you.
dumb.
Well,
Gosh.
yeah, I just don't understand
Thank
the
you.
whole. I mean, maybe it's not that big of a thing, and your girlfriend's just kind of like.
I think it's just like.
Look up what the purpose of a bread box is.
Yeah.
Because
Well, I mean, I know what the
I
purpose
fail to
is,
see
Okay,
what the
but, like-
purpose of it is.
This seems too stupid.
Yeah.
but purpose
almost.
of a bread box. Keep bread fresh for longer by maintaining a cool, dry environment and controlling airflow.
Did you know that
Does
if you
it
put it in
actually-
a
But, like,
bag
how
and
does
put
it
it in
do
the
that?
freezer and then just toasted it when you needed it,
Yeah,
it'll
it's
last
like just
even
put it in the-
longer?
Yeah, put it in the freezer, put it in a cabinet.
Okay,
that does
okay.
the exact same thing.
That's what I do at home.
No, I know. That's
Avoid
I-
pests. They can help keep mice and other pests away from bread.
You gotta move if you got problems
Yeah,
with
if you
pests
have
in your
mice
pantry.
in your house, you have
That's
more
kind
problems
of
than
a
the bread.
different problem that you
That's
should
your
be
pantry.
attacking.
Yeah, you don't need to get a sophisticated box. Why don't you take care of the rodents?
Yeah,
What's
what
in your pantry?
they
Yep.
Piss in your pantry.
Pantry.
Piss.
Don't forget
What's
about the
wrong
silent
with us?
key.
What is
Guys,
wrong with us?
what? Okay.
Bread box.
Bread box.
Break your
Okay,
lips.
Your You'll-
r/cooking. Does a bread
Bro
box
is on
actually
Reddit. Bro's on Reddit right now.
It's a deep dive.
Let's see what
Pantry.
the experts say.
Bread box.
Bread box.
See that? This dude just said I like to freeze bread. Thank you.
Yeah.
I. That's his name.
Reddit is like no. just
Yeah.
no.
Hey, that was like the third Google result.
Wild.
That
Normally
means it's
is for most
very
Do you guys,
questions.
when you're like looking up answers for like taking a test, do you look on Reddit
No.
for answers?
No.
No.
Quizlet every time.
It's
Okay.
Quizlet.
Yeah, Quizlet.
Sometimes if I struggle with ChatGPT or
Bro, just okay, man.
Well, but
he's
That
gonna
is
dox himself.
that is, was it satire?
Satire.
Bro.
No, it's satire.
Satire.
Guys, thanks for watching.
Thank
Been
for
real.
listening.
Hey, let us know if you use a bread box.
If you use a bread box,
I don't know if
straight
anyone
up,
wants to
Yeah,
admit that.
If any
Actually,
of you
don't let
have
us
one,
know.
I have a problem with you.
I don't think
Oh,
anyone
my.
wants to admit that after we just ranted about it
Yeah.
for 5
Yeah.
minutes.
Alrighty.
Seriously.
Well,
We'll see you next week.
God bless you. Go get them and go mud hens.